I was impressed with that move you pulled. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, it's G, it's Double MD, the undefeated, undisputed YouTube champion. That's right, it's the Maverick, Mark Daniels, here with another wrestling tier list here, getting ready for Wrestlemania this weekend, as I mentioned in yesterday's video where we took every WWE World Championship design and we ranked them from best to worst, in my opinion, of course. We are doing a tier list every day as we head towards Wrestlemania. Probably might even do a few more after Wrestlemania. I don't know. I'm just gonna do a bunch as I want to, and then when I'm done doing them, we'll see how many we have after that. But continuing on the trend of championships, one of the championships we saw in the last video was the Big Gold World Heavyweight Championship. So this is a tier list on every WWE World Heavyweight Champion. This is Big Gold from 2002 to 2013. Or I'm assuming 2013 is where they unified the titles and got rid of the Big Gold. Again, didn't do any research on that, but just off the top of my head, that sounds about right. So, we got our tiers here. We have God tier, amazing, great, good, not so good, and garbage. You guys know my rules here. God tier, I try to put like about 10% maybe at most of the topic at hand in this tier. And there's about, what, 13, I want to say 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, about 23, maybe 24. I did a quick count there. So I'll put like 5 at the maximum up here. We'll see. Maybe less than 5. We'll see how things go. But there's some great champions here. And there's some bad champions here, too. So we'll definitely put some in the garbage as well. And speaking of which, our first one here, are these in alphabetical order? No. It looks like they started in alphabetical order, though, and then they just kind of gave up at some point. That's kind of wild. Because Kane is the last one, and he's after The Undertaker. Did they forget to put Kane? Is that F it put Kane in? I don't know. Again, I didn't make this tier list, so if they're missing anybody, don't take it up with me. I'll put a link in the tier list below if you want to make your own. It's their fault, not mine. So number 1 is Alberto Del Rio. Let's just throw him down there. I'm not a huge fan of this guy as a person. As a wrestler, he was kind of boring to me. There's really not much more to say. I can't think of a match of his that I really enjoyed. I'm trying to think of anything that pops in my mind. I mean, he had some matches with Cena, of course. Who hasn't? I think he had some matches with Punk that were maybe okay. I'm not a huge fan of him. We're just going to put him at the bottom and move on. Next, we have The Animal, Batista. And I think Batista is I was gonna say great, but that's not enough because he's amazing. I think he's gonna go here. Of course, we'll move things around. He might move up, maybe. I think Batista was fantastic, especially that the turn with Evolution, where the thumbs up, thumbs down, hits Triple H. I mean, it's iconic. Obviously, they also did the same thing to Randy Orton when they kicked Randy Orton out of Evolution as well. I love Batista. I know there's a segment of fans that hate Batista, thought he was really bad. I don't know. I'm easy to please, I guess, because I always thought he was awesome. Had a fantastic look. His matches were, good enough, I guess. I don't know. Thought they were fine. He's not a technical wizard, but not everybody needs to be. He was a great heavyweight. Had some good matches, and then as he was leaving, the WWE, had some great segments. Great acting, and now he's in movies. He's doing great for himself. So very happy for him. And I think he certainly deserves to be in the amazing tier. Next, well, it's the Big Show. I like the Big Show, old Paul White. Obviously, he's in AEW now. I think he's commentating still. I don't know. I don't watch Elevation or Dark on YouTube. I want to put him in good. I never disliked the Big Show. He's had some runs that were kind of He's had some runs that were, but overall, I enjoy his body of work. As a champion, I can't think of too many matches he's had as the world champion. I remember. Wait a minute. Is his only run with the world title when he beat Mark Henry and then Daniel Bryan cashed in on him? I'm gonna look up his Wikipedia real fast. Because if that's the case, I have to put it near the bottom. Let me see here. Big Show. This will take 5 seconds. And by 5 seconds, it's going to take a little bit longer than that. Hi, how are you guys doing today? Let's go Big Show. Boom, Wikipedia. I can't remember if he had more than one run with the world title. I know he's been WWE champion as well, or WWF champion, I guess at the time. See, championships and accomplishments. Let me just quickly look. World WWE, he was WWF WWE champion 2 times, world champion twice. Okay, so I feel comfortable putting him in good then, and we will continue to do so. Next is King Booker, and of course, before he won the world title in WWE, he was a five-time WCW champion. I love Booker, man. He's one of my favorites of all time. If you want to go check out a video I did, I think it was last year or maybe 2 years ago. I don't know. COVID times, my frame of reference of time is completely gone. But I did a tier list, not a tier list, but it was on the tier list maker, a ranked list of my top 25 favorite wrestlers of all time. Booker T's on that list. I love Booker T, and we're gonna put him in the great there. King Booker was a lot of fun. And I wish he did a little bit more with world titles in WWE, but that's neither here nor there. Next is the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Chris Jericho. I'm gonna put him in amazing as well. Over Batista. As a wrestler, I like him more than Batista. Jericho, in my mind, is one of the best of all time. I love Jericho. I don't remember his title reign specifically though. We're going to put him amazing. We might move him to God tier. This guy, listen, I'm not going to talk about him. You guys already know who he is, what he's done, where he's been. Steven Richards goes to the bottom of the list. No. We're just going to put him at the very bottom. He's going to stay at the bottom. I could have made maybe another tier list here. I don't want to go into that. He's going at the very bottom. Next is Christian. One more match. I like Christian's title reign. Maybe wasn't that memorable. Obviously, he lost it like the same week he won it to Randy Orton, and then he won it again because of the backlash of the fans. I'm just going to put him in good, probably above Big Show. I love Christian. I think he's underrated. Usually when you say, oh, someone's underrated, usually it's not quite the right word, right? Because there'll be people who, like Cesaro, he's underrated. Well, no, he's not. Everybody loves Cesaro. They think he's amazing, but he's underutilized. I think Christian fits both of those descriptions because I think there's a segment of fans that just don't really appreciate what Christian has done in wrestling, but also what he does and what he can continue to do in, I guess, AEW. I love Christian. I think he's great. His title reign, just because it was kind of lackluster, maybe not as great as we thought it would be, and it's not his fault for that, I'm going to put him in good. Next, we have CM Punk. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time, for sure. Top 3 of all time. I have to think about my ranked list that I did. I think I put him in 3rd. Maybe I would put him in... Or am I thinking of the AEW tier list that I did? I don't know. I do a lot of lists. CM Punk's title reigns were mostly great. I know he won the world title twice, I want to say. I'm not going to look up all the Wikipedia. As far as title reigns go, I don't remember a lot of the matches as world champion, but I'm just going to put him up at the top because I love CM Punk. And even this era of Punk before, the Summer Punk and the Pipe Bomb and all that shenanigans, I was always a huge fan of his. When he won Money in the Bank, I marked out like crazy. So I'm just going to put him at the top. No questions asked. Same with this man here, Daniel Bryan. Huge fan of Daniel Bryan. He had some great stuff with the world title, winning it with the Money in the Bank. That Elimination Chamber where the finals was him and Santino, which was fantastic. Obviously, he did lose the title against Sheamus in was it 18 seconds at Mania? Maybe that puts it a little bit lower if we're being honest. I'm gonna put it here. Maybe I should put it just because it's unfortunate. We'll just do this. It's fine. This isn't the WWE title. If it was WWE title, I'll probably put it about maybe a bit higher. Dolph Ziggler. He's in my mind, only a one-time World Heavyweight Champion. I know they count his reign that lasted less than an episode of SmackDown as an actual reign where Vicky Guerrero gave him the title or whatever it was. I don't count that. But even then, I mean, his cash-in is legendary. Probably my favorite cash-in of all time. It's at least top 3, right? I mean, it's probably him or Seth Rollins. I'd have to really think about it. Maybe that's another tier list video we could do down the line. But the actual reign of the title, he got injured while wrestling Swagger, got kicked in the head, and then his title reign ended shortly after that. I think against Alberto Del Rio, actually. which is the person who he won the title from as well. I'm going to put it not so good. Dolph Ziggler's one of my favorites. I love Ziggler. I'm glad he's the NXT champion, and a lot of people don't like that. But it gives me a reason to watch NXT 2.0, no offense. Anyways, Ziggler, not so good there. And then we have the rated R superstar, Edge. And we're going to put him in Gotcha. I thought he was great as world champion. Maybe above Punk, just quality of matches. Because I don't remember how long Punk held the title. I think he, like I said, I think he held it twice. I remember he lost. I think he lost the first one pretty quickly. I mean, I just held the title a shit ton of times. Yeah, I think we'll do that. I think that's fine. But anyways, love Edge. Edge is great. One of my favorite wrestlers as well. Always enjoyed him, even when he was just like an edgy Christian. I always loved Edge. He was one of my favorites at the time. He's had some great matches over his long career. Obviously, had to go away for a while because of his injuries. Came back, and he's had some good matches in WWE since being back. I'd like to see one more title reign out of him. One more world title reign before he hangs it up for good. I think he deserves it. Why not? Next, we have Goldberg, who was the world heavyweight champion. Again, I think for a short period of time. Did he win it from Triple H, I think? I don't know. I don't think the reign was that memorable. I do like Goldberg just fine. Wish he wasn't beating, younger guys on the roster like The Fiend, but that's neither here nor there. Although, when he beat Ziggler, that was kind of funny. But it was mostly Ziggler on the mic, having almost like a Jeff Hardy moment. I'm not finished yet. And then Goldberg comes in there and spears the shit out of him. We'll put Goldberg over Ziggler here, but we'll put it not so good. The Great Khali. Also put not so good. They could have done more with the Great Khali, personally. If they would have just kept him serious a bit longer, he'd have to be a comedy guy. He was a scary guy. I mean, I remember, I see posts all the time, and we'll talk about this wrestler later, but Rey Mysterio, when he had that big grip on Rey Mysterio to get the blood coming out, I've seen a lot of people share the meme that when I was a kid, I literally thought he died. I didn't think that personally. I was a little bit too old when that happened, but it was good stuff. I thought Khali had a little bit going for him. They could have done more with him, but his title reign, not so good. Next, we have the All-American American Jack Swagger, now known as Jake Hager. I guess that's his real name, right? Jake Hager in AEW and also in Bellator. I think he's in Bellator. I don't know. I don't follow MMA. I like Swagger. It's funny. When he was ECW champion, I was really behind him. He won the Money in the Bank. I was actually excited for him. I wanted to see him have a good title reign. Wasn't very good. In fact, I would even say it was probably garbage. Excuse me, the actual title reign. I remember when he won the title. I think it was on a SmackDown against Jericho, wasn't it? When he cashed in, it never clicked with. It just never happened. People just wasn't into it. Then he came back. Did he have an injury or something? I don't remember. But he came back. Then he got busted for marijuana or something when he was going to go into Mania against Alberto Del Rio. He was hot at that point. People were into him. And then that happened, and it was like, well, so much for that run for Swagger. So I have to put in the garbage, unfortunately. Next is the charismatic enigma, my favorite wrestler of all time, Jeff Hardy. His world title reign, did he have it? Was it the world title that CM Punk cashed in on him? Did he only have one title reign with his... This one I do have to look up. Hold on. I'm putting him in gray for a second here, but he's probably not going to stay in there. Give me 1 second here. Because I can't remember, because I think he's had 3 title reigns, right? But I think the other 2 were WWE title reigns. So give me 5 seconds here to look up Jeff Hardy here. Because I got to be somewhat subjective. He's my favorite wrestler. I can't just put him in the top for a lackluster title reign. But I do remember, I think the world title was the first one he won. The first world title he won. Let's see. Oh, did I actually click on... What? How did I do that? Alright, anyways. Scrolling down. Alright, WWE. He's had the World Heavyweight title twice. Okay, is the WWE title once. Okay. Then I can feel comfortable in putting him in the greats tier. I'd love to put him higher, but I don't think his title reigns were that memorable. In comparison to some of these other guys, I could put him higher than that. And I'd probably still put Booker above Jeff, subjectively. Next, we have John Cena. As World Heavyweight Champion, I know he's held the title, obviously at least once. I can't remember how many times he's actually held this particular title. I like Cena. He's had obviously some great matches over the years, some lackluster stuff over his career as well. I'm gonna put him in good with the world title. I don't remember specific instances of the big gold title. I don't think he held the big gold title too many times. Now the WWE title he's held countless times. He's 16-time world champion is Mr. John Cena. We'll just put him at the top of good. I think that's fine. Kurt Angle. Huge fan of Kurt Angle. Great wrestler. I know he won the WCW title. I don't think this is counting the WCW title run. As a world champion, huh? I'm gonna put him in amazing. Maybe right about here. Right about here. Mark Henry in the House of Pain. This was great stuff, man. I'm gonna put him in great actually, and I'm actually gonna put him right below Booker, I think, above Jeff. I enjoyed the House of Pain, Mark Henry. I was always a fan of Mark Henry. Back when he was in the Nation of Domination and Forward, Sexual Chocolate. Um, that odd time when he was teaming up with MVP and they're both dressed up kind of like Power Rangers, kind of, because they have the big singlets. They should have won the tag titles. Come on. But I like Mark Henry a lot. I think he's great. Now he's on AEW. I know he does the time for your main event on AEW. I don't think he commentates anymore. I think he was supposed to be a commentator. But he's awesome. I like Mark Henry a lot. I'm going to put him in great tier there. Next is the Viper, Randy Orton. I want to put him in amazing as well. Gosh, I can't really put CM Punk in God tier, not or nah. But looking at some of these other names left. Actually, I think I could do this just fine. I said I would put 5, and I think I'm going to have 5. And I'm going to put Randy above Punk. Rated RKO. Above Edge or below Edge. Here's the problem. In my mind, I can't remember. Like, I remember a lot of the matches these guys have had, right? Obviously. But I can't remember what title belt they were holding at the time. Was it the WWE title or the World title? It's confusing. So I'm trying to think of which of these matches did he have the World title for? But I'm just not even gonna worry about that. Randy Orton definitely deserves to be in the God tier. I'm gonna put him right about here. I think just for like the overall level of matches, I think Edge has put on some better matches than Orton has. But I mean they're fucking close. They're both really great. We're just gonna leave it at that. Rey Mysterio as world champion. Rey Mysterio obviously one of the best of all time. Possibly the best, cruiserweight of all time. I want to put his title reign. I'm trying to think. I know he had a match with Jack Swagger, where Kane cashed it, because I was actually live at that show. That's the only live show I've been to, actually. It was Money in the Bank 2010, I think. It was the year that, as I just mentioned, Kane won Money in the Bank that night. Came out to help Rey Mysterio get Swagger, and then cashed in on Rey Mysterio. It was great. It was also the match that Cena and Sheamus had a cage match with the Nexus, interrupting the match. The Miz won Money in the Bank that year, the Raw Money in the Bank. I'm gonna put Rey. I think I'm gonna put him in good. Man. I'm going to put him in great. I'll put him at bottom of great. Next, we have HBK Shawn Michaels. I remember him winning the world title. I don't know how long he held the title or like the matches he had as champion. Again, that's a bit of a problem with this because I get some of these mixed up with the WWE title in my mind. But I mean, Shawn Michaels in general is an amazing talent. So I can't imagine his title reign was terrible. I'm going to put him in amazing. Next, we have The Game Triple H, a guy synonymous with his title because when they brought it back, they gave it to him. I'm going to put him in God tier. Not just because he had to retire recently, because he had his heart issues, but because I'm a massive fan of Triple H overall. And I know people hate him. That's kind of the point. But I think I've said this, and this is going to be controversial, and you guys are probably going to disagree with me. I think in terms of WWE or WWF, at least since I've started watching wrestling especially, but even like older generations, including your Ric Flair, because Ric Flair wasn't in WWF for very long, before he came back when he was much older. But when he won the WWF title, Ric Flair, he was like 45, 44, 45, so he was older then. And then he came back like 10 years later, and then of course did Evolution and stuff. I think Triple H is the second best heel in WWE history. People are not going to like that, and that's fine. There's some arguments can be made for some other people, but I think when you look at longevity, the programs he's been in, the matches he's had, the moments he's had as a heel, one of the best. I can see someone arguing maybe he's third or fourth, but I can't. I would have to say he's at least be top 5 in WWE. I'm not saying wrestling as a whole, just WWF, WWE. Number 1 for me is Vince McMahon, and then number 2 is Triple H. Personal opinion. I mean, Randy Orton's definitely up there. CM Punk, is up there. Has some great heel stuff. Edge up there as well. Obviously, Roddy Piper. Macho Man had some great heel stuff in his day. Again, I didn't watch a lot of the older stuff beyond that. It's like, I don't know how great, was Harley Race in WWE? Yeah, I don't know. I know he was more of a world-class guy, right? I'm talking on my ass there, but Undertaker was a great heel. Speaking of Undertaker, he's next, and he's going to the top as well. Love the Undertaker. We're going to put Undertaker above Punk in this instance for the world title. I know he had some great matches for that world championship. We'll put him at the very top. SmackDown was on fire at that point, right? I mean, my God. But yeah, we're going to have Undertaker there in the top God tier. Top 5, my fave 5. Whereas Booker T used to say my top 5. He's in my top 5. This is my top 5 of world champions in WWE from 2002 to 2013. Next is the Big Red Machine Kane, who is out of order in terms of alphabetical. I like Kane a lot. I liked his run as world champion. Wish he would have got more runs with the world title. Because he only held the world title, I think twice. WWF title once. And the WWF title run was an accident. Because it's like a first blood match. If I'm not speaking out of my ass there. But I'm going to put Kane in great. Amazing? Great. Maybe right before Booker. That looks good to me. So this is my tier list here, as you can see here. I'm not going to read all these off, but top 5 here we have Edge, Triple H. I might put Triple H over Edge, to be honest. Triple H, Edge, Randy Orton, The Undertaker, and CM Punk as world champion. All these guys, for the most part, I enjoyed their career. Their runs for the world title, not so much. Not so much. Some of them were better than others. I wish Jack Swagger could have done a little bit more. I really thought with Swagger specifically in ECW, he was still pretty green, obviously, but I was like, man, there's something there. He's got something there. He's got size. He's a good amateur wrestler. Got some good submissions in there, and man, he's got something. There's definitely a swagger about him, right? And I don't know what happened after he won that world title. It was nothing. It's a shame. It's a damn shame. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Tomorrow we'll do an AEW one because it's Wednesday. We'll do some sort of AEW list. I've already done a tier list on their roster. So we'll find something else. I don't know what we'll do, but we'll find something. But thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'm the Maverick Daniels. Been here for peace and one love. Bang!